Naruto here breaking down complexity, CT, ramp control, and vertigo. 3 players blameF, config, and poizon go towards A. Poizon smokes ramp, then he will flash scaffold for blameF to peek, which he kills a blind JW, then he falls off. Config mollies mid ramp, and from upper ramp he will kill Brolin. Poizon comes and supports config as he retreats, and he kills Golden. He goes back for more and gets punished. Complexity are in a 4v2 and eventually win the round, so let's take a look at the players' POVs. blameF is going to push Ivy, and then he's going to peek Scaffold off of Poizon's flash. You'll see here fnatic throw the Ivy smoke, however, he's going to disregard it and push through it because he knows with Poizon's flash that anyone's Scaffold will be blind, which JW does get blind, and blameF gets an easy kill, then he falls back. Config is Complexity's ramp player for this setup. In this round, he's going to molly mid-ramp, and then typically for the setup, he'll swing ramp. However, fnatic are going for a more aggressive play, and he gets flash, and he starts spraying, and he kills Brolin, and then he retreats. Poizon is Complexity's opper, however in this round he has a rifle. For the most part, he usually is the one that's throwing the deep ramp smoke and then flashing twice. One for scaffold, and one for ramp. However, in this round, he only has one flash, which he uses for scaffold for blameF to peek. He will then come support ramp. blameF and config get 2 early kills and they fall back. Poizon incendiaries ramp, and then he kills Golden, who pushes through. However, he overpeaks and dies. In the following round, fnatic are on eco and complexity run the same setup. However, Poizon this time has an op, and blameF will run all the way down scaffold. Poizon gets on platform and peeks over the box, and he's gonna kill Golden, while blameF will lurk around the ramp smoke that Poizon threw, and it leaves a one wave for him. He's gonna catch Brolin, and they're gonna get full ramp control here. blameF is gonna make his way down scaffold with Poizon's flash. I forgot to mention from the previous round that Poizon's flash won't blind blameF, so he's okay to swing. So when he makes his way down scaffold, he hugs all the way to the right. That's important to note because if in case fnatic did have a buy round and they had an op, they could peek him and see that he's coming down. You'll see that in a later round. So blameF makes his way towards ramp after config's molly ends, and he's going to lurk around that ramp smoke, which leaves a one way in the corner there. Catches Brolin running back, and then I'm going to skip the rest of the round because complexity get full ramp control here. Config has the same role. He's the ramp player for this setup, and he's going to molly mid ramp, and then this round he's going to nade off the scaffold, which will land towards the corner, and then he swings. He's there to support blameF. Know how config's spraying through the smoke? He's going to take attention off blameF, and he even does damage to one of the fnatic players. Poizon has an op, and you can see from the spawns that he has a better ramp spawn than config. Even so, he will still throw the same utility set where he smokes deep ramp, and then he flashes scaffold for blameF to peek. He only has one flash, so he uses it for scaffold. He'll jump on top of platform, peek over the box, which he kills Golden. Then he nades ramp, and then he throws a molly that will land towards the corner, which flushes out Brolin, and then that leads to a kill for blameF, who sneaks around the smoke. He's going to stay here and help support blame and config. In the following round, complexity run the same setup. Poizon flashes blameF into scaffold. He makes his way all the way down. Config and Poizon, after throwing their utility, will swing ramp. Fnatic here are going for a boost and they peek over the deep ramp smoke, in which they kill config. blameF hears that and is able to kill both fnatic players. Complexity have ramp control and rotate blameF to mid. If config was alive, he would rotate out as well. They leave Poizon there to defend ramp solo. This is the same philosophy as Inferno, as when you get banana control and leave one player there and stack the other bomb site. blameF is going to get flashed into scaffold by Poizon, and he makes his way all the way down. When he does so, he hugs right side of the wall so he doesn't get spotted. Fnatic players boosting are going to shoot towards config, and he hears that, so he fires and sprays that area and gets 2 players. He then rotates out because Poizon is there ramp with an op. Config, the ramp player, doing the same thing. He's going to molly mid ramp, and then he's going to nade mid ramp, and then he swings after he recovers from fnatic's flash. You'll see here he pre-fires the boost and does a lot of damage to Brolin. He dies, but blameF is able to kill both players. This time around, Poizon has 2 flashes. The second flash will be towards ramp. He does fumble on the first flash. The first flash is supposed to be thrown at 146, but he has issues quick switching it. Afterwards, he's gonna go help out towards ramp. So if Complexity can, they would love to set up Poizon there with an op while both players rotate towards mid. So that leaves one player A while they can stack the other sites. Like I said before guys, it's the same philosophy as banana control on Inferno. You get banana control, leave one player there, and rotate out the other player, stacking the A bomb site. If Poizon takes contact or see a lot of enemies, then that could prompt blameF or Config to rotate back to help him. Obviously not Config this round since he's dead, but you guys get the idea. In the following round, Complexity run the same setup. Poizon flashes for Blame to peek scaffold. Once again, you'll see fnatic throw the Ivy smoke, but Blame doesn't respect it and goes through it, and kills a blind Brolin. Blame rotates out to connector while Config backs up Poizon to get ramp control. Once Poizon is set up, Config also rotates to watch mid but through CT. I'm not going to show you the POVs because it's repetitive and also the same setup, nothing new. In round 13, fnatic make their attempt for ramp control and throw a lot of utility. blameF makes his way down scaffold and peeks a deep ramp smoke gap on the right and kills Brolin, however he gets traded out. While the two ramp players, Poizon and Config, play a little bit more passive and don't fully swing ramp since they felt heavy pressure early on. They'll fall back a little and play towards upper and sandbags. Crims gets flashed to peek upper, however Poizon at sandbags kills him, then him and Config fall back. Despite Complexity not getting ramp control here, they are content with having the player advantage. In the next clip against Vitality, Poizon has a good spawn to peek ramp and does so. Config will throw his util set. Poizon kills Shocks while Blame makes his way down scaffold and peeks to the right of the deep ramp smoke, and he pushes through it, which catches Zywoo off guard since he's focused on trying to pick off Poizon. Complexity now have full ramp control. In this round, blameF's going to push down scaffold and he's going to kill Tessa's peeking over the smoke, and then he falls off and then they set up Poizon on towards scaffold to be the solo defender with his op, while Config and blameF rotate towards mid. Earlier we saw Config almost get the kill by pre-firing the boost. This time around against Heroic he does the same and he sprays the smoke. He kills Borup the booster. Blame delays his scaffold push and kills Tessa's, and Poizon picks off Cadian. Then Blame and Config go aggressive and push into the box area where they find bomb and they'll defend it. In round 12, we see blameF push Heroic's top scaffold smoke behind the beam, and he's gonna hide behind there. He gets mollied out, so he gets pushed back into Ivy. He waits for the molly to end before re-aggressing behind the beam, while his teammates Poizon and Config face early utility used on by Heroic and get pushed back. blameF is gonna go 1-for-1 here. Besides getting the kill, he does clear top ramp. Poizon and Config are going to re-aggress ramp and they get the kill into Borup. Config also does a lot of damage to Cadian. Cadian's going to retreat. Config is going to push the box area and take full control. Config will position himself in this corner here and Poizon will rotate towards mid. One of the counters to this setup is sometimes the T's get there before the CT's pushing down scaffold, so we see Cadian here posted up on scaffold and he's going to catch Blame crossing. To wrap up, Complexity does a good job in getting ramp control with this setup. They have many looks and variations to it. If you liked the video, please upvote and subscribe. Till next time, not out here, peace.